Hello everyone, we are here with really interesting another video, and that is based on listening module. And I know just the exact question that's bothering you, and that is maps and navigation question type. So let's get started and let's understand how are we going to deal with this particular question type without any problem and without getting our answers wrong. So let's get started. One of the most important factor when you encounter the question is basically the part where the audio hasn't started. I mean, the part, or you can say the time frame that is 30 seconds before the audio starts. So what are you supposed to do? Before the audio start, you get a prediction state. Now, what is prediction state or prediction stage? It's basically if you know that we get before 4 to 5 question, we get 30 seconds so that we can revise our question, or you can say read our question. So what are you supposed to do exactly? You need to read the title carefully. Now, the title or the questions, or if I'll be very precise, read the map properly. Now, what exactly the place is? Is it a museum, park, campus, hotel? What exactly is it? So basically, if you know, we've got two kinds of map, indoors and outdoors. Indoor maps are usually of office, schools, clubs, sports complex, like that, library. Outdoor maps are usually a junction, park, amusement park, zoo, and so on. So here are the two kinds of map that we get. Now, the next thing that you need to be very careful is it the present layout or is it the future plan or the changes they're talking about? Well, talking about this particular part, you're barely going to get this in your IELTS map examination. You just need to make sure that you are going to get a map and how you are going to navigate through it. If words like will be built, is going to, planned appear, it's a future map. But anyhow, that doesn't matter. It matters in writing and not listening. In listening, the only thing that matters is the navigation that you have to hear and do accordingly. The next thing that I would like to talk to you about is going to be identify your starting point. Now, why does starting point matter so much? It matters because your starting point will decide the direction you will move on. So first, you need to take care of a basic direction, that is the compass direction, that deals with north, south, east, and west. On the other hand, we've got few more directional terms like left and right. Your starting point usually refers which direction you will be entering. And this is where the crucial point starts. So it can be an entrance. There are chances that they mark it, you are here, and from there only you have to start your answer. Reception can also be an entrance, and of course, depends upon the kind of map you encounter. So they might give you entrance, they might give you enter, or they might give you welcome as a sign to enter into the map. Now, most mistakes happen because students lose their starting points. Of course, if you do not pay attention initially, you won't get a single clue where you exactly heading to. So always remember that make sure wherever you're heading, your starting point should be there. And of course, you should be aware of it. Next, underline the landmarks. These are your anchors. Circle them now. So basically, what usually happens is we need to look for the sources of navigation. If you're dealing with an indoor map, your sources of navigation can be floors, gallery, lane, stairs. While in the outdoor maps, your sources for navigation can be roads, main roads, side path, footpath, lane, streets. So make sure you consider what all sources you already have and what are they called. Next thing, always mark them properly. Now, this will help you in order to understand what are the sources and how many sources is going to lead to one direction or particular destination. As you can clearly see in the picture, we can see that Maple Street, Bridge Street, West Road, Corner Cafe, train station. You can clearly see this is what basis of, the picture is, the campus is. Sorry, compass. At the same time, we've got roads, buildings, rivers, corners, north and south direction, which is something which is very common. And you will, of course, encounter. In case your map doesn't contain compass, make one for you. Okay? Now, this is where you are heading to 50% completion of your maps and navigation question. Now, what else you're supposed to do? Now, look for the directional language. Before you move ahead and deal with your examination, I would rather recommend you to go ahead and have a look at some of the directional prepositional, or directional language. For example, for straight, you can encounter these terms. For turn, you can encounter these terms at the same time. And for the position, you can encounter these terms. The preciseness of the position is very, very important. Why? It's because you need to understand what is meant by next to, beside, by, opposite, between, adjoining. All of them have different meaning. And one wrong meaning is going to lead you to one wrong answer. See, maps and navigation is the kind of question where you can, of course, achieve 6 out of 6, 5 out of 5, or maybe 10 out of 10. But if you pay close attention to what is being said, if you didn't, of course, it's going to hamper your band score. So make sure you are aware of the prepositional language, directional language, what is meant by exactly which preposition. You should be aware of it. Also, you need to have a really good knowledge on the direction. If you fail to do so, of course, it's going to hamper your band score. Now, that was a basic introduction of what all things you need to have in order to deal with this particular question type. Now, let me talk to you about the strategy that you guys are going to use. This strategy is known as pencil tip, or you can say follow your pencil strategy. What does this mean? Now, what it says is trace the route physically on the map. Don't jump early. Stay calm if you miss one point. Refocus immediately. What exactly you have to do? To all those people who are going for pen paper based test, you've got your question paper right here. You have to take your pencils, place the tip on the map of the entrance, on the entrance of the map, and trace it accordingly with respect to the audio. And to all those computer-based examinees out here, take your pen or pencil, place the pointer on the entrance. Of course, do not touch the screen. Make sure you place it a little far away from the screen, and then you have to just trace your map through the audio. Now, what exactly this strategy does? It enhances your concentration. It doesn't lead you to distraction, first. Second, there are high chances that it has 90% of accuracy to your answers. So the moment you're going to stop to a particular location is exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, this enhances your concentration, your accuracy, and of course, once there's accuracy, you have marked the right answer. So there's no doubt in that part. So this strategy, I'm pretty much sure it's going to help you. Now, here are some of the common traps that you need to be very careful when you're dealing with maps and navigation. Confusing left and right. Always remember, be very sure of where your left is, where your right is. Doesn't matter from where you're entering. It's because it changes. So let's suppose if you're entering it like this is your right and this is your left. Like this becomes your right and this becomes your left. Like this is your right and your left. And like this, again, this becomes your right and this becomes your left. Now you can clearly see the changes of left and right direction, so don't confuse yourself. Make sure you practice a mental rotation. Similar landmark. Old library, new library. Now, what usually happens is the speaker is want to distract you. In order to distract you, they are going to say certain things which are wrong in nature. For example, go along the straight path or go along the gallery. On the left-hand side, you'll find the new library. We also had an old library over here. Now, which one you're going to mark? The answer will be new library because they used to have an older one before, not now. So always remember the change in the statement, a minor change in the statement can lead you to wrong answer, even if you know the right one. So be very careful. Spelling errors. Even if your location is correct, spelling matters. Of course, you are dealing with IELTS examination, and of course, it's the English proficiency examination that caters to your proficiency over this particular language. So it's really very important to make sure to take care of your spellings. Even a slightest missing alphabet can lead you to no marks. So always remember, check it once you've written. Now, losing the sequence is the trap 4. IELTS map follow chronological order, which means if you have started from question number 1 to question number 5, the speaker is going to exactly track the questions that are given. So do not lose sequence. Let's suppose in any case structure, you got distracted or you got zoned out. Don't worry, the next location will start with the very same starting point as the previous. So even if you lose one, it's totally fine. You can always cope with the other question. Now, special case. And what is that? Map with changes before and after. Now, here you need to pay closer attention. Now I understand it's quite difficult for you guys to do it, but please do it. It's going to save you from the nervousness or the anxiety or the unfamiliarity that you have with the map. It's going to make you familiar with the map. Stay aware of the compass direction north, south, east, and west. Of course, as I said before, stay calm if one answer is missed. Don't panic. It's totally fine. 1 out of 10, it's totally fine. But if it increases, then that's a matter of concern. So make sure, do not panic and move on. Go ahead, talk about the next one. Make sure if one misses, you get all the other correct. Okay? And that's all. So this is the entire strategy that you guys need to take care when you are dealing with this particular question type. Okay? Okay then, bye-bye. Take care. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.